Hey everyone, welcome. And this is Charlene of Angel Hack, the organizing team of the Hello Future Hackathons. We're excited to have you here for the second workshop leading up to the Hedera Hello Future Apex Hackathon 2026, our biggest Hedera hackathon yet. With a 250,000 prize pool. How good is that? This introduction to Hedera workshop comes before the hackathon officially opens, as we want you to have a good preparation if you're new to Hedera, so you can have a good start with confidence as we begin the hackathon next week. And the hackathon will run from February 17th until 23rd. So let me share more about the Apex Hackathon. Once again, it has 250,000 prize pool with five main tracks, namely AI and agents, DeFi and tokenization, sustainability, open track, and legacy builders. It brings amazing ecosystem partners as well. These are Neuron World, AWS, Hashgraph Online, Hiero, and Bonzo. So these partnerships actually help us create more opportunities, resources, and real world impact for developers. And what is the role of our partners actually? They have bounty statements that you can tackle apart from the main tracks. To know more about it, please scan the QR code that you can see on your screen. I don't know where it is right now, but you can see it on your screen. I bet it's on Luke's. Yeah, it's on Luke's frame. Right. Please scan that, and then it will directly send you to the hackathon page. And you know what? This hackathon is designed for everyone, whether you're a new developer just getting started or an experienced builder in Hedera. Apex has a place for you, right? So why this workshop? Hedera's goal is to welcome new developers and help everyone feel at home in the community. So as part of that, we always host a pre-hackathon session on Hedera basics and how to get started a few days before the hackathon begins. So this session is here to help you and your team get prepared, especially if some of you are new to Hedera or to this hackathon. So yeah, once again, if you're new, welcome. You're excited to have you here. And if you're a seasoned developer looking for a refresher, you're absolutely welcome too. So I'll just gonna mention about the questions and follow up. Please feel free to ask questions during the session by typing in the live thread. We'll address them at the end. And if your question comes later, that's completely fine. Please fill out the form that I'm about to share right now on this thread, and you can use it to put your questions in. Okay, so now I am moving on to the speaker introduction. And now I'm happy to introduce Luke Forrest, Hashgraph's developer relations engineer. He's been building on Hedera since 2021 and is excited to mentor and support you in bringing your ideas to fruition. Over to you, Luke.
Hi, everyone. Thanks very much, Sherlyn. Great to be here. Really looking forward to helping everyone build. As Sherlyn has said, any questions, stick them in the chat. More than happy to help. I've also got a small presentation to show you guys on the basics of Hedera, to walk you through the Hedera portal as well, the developer playground, as well as getting a local environment set up so you can begin hacking as soon as possible. We can bring my screen up here, that'd be great. Awesome. So what are you going to learn in this workshop? You're going to learn a little bit about Hedera. We're going to learn about HTS, Hedera Token Service, HCS, Hedera Consensus Service, how to create an account on testnet, which is super important so you can start testing, and smart contract deployment and verification via the portal as well. So what is Hedera? Hedera Enterprise Ready DLT. You know, it's ridiculously fast, 10,000 transactions per second, fees fixed as well. So no matter how much you're scaling, you know exactly how much is going to cost you. Finality in 3 seconds, you know, incredibly quick, incredibly cheap as well. So Hedera Consensus Service, what is it? So on Hedera, you can create a topic, right? And that topic you can submit messages to that everyone can read. It's completely immutable. It's fair ordered. You can submit 10,000 messages a second to your topic. You know, so the implications are huge. Neuron, I believe, did a little workshop the other day as well, showcasing their product, and that all is all committed to different topics on Hedera HCS. So it's an incredibly powerful tool. We've also got the Hedera token service as well. So creating tokens, you can see there it costs less than a penny to transfer any amount of tokens to another wallet. So it's incredibly cheap. Again, 10,000 transactions per second. As far as I'm aware, there's no network that is faster than that. And that's without sharding as well. Once sharding comes into play, obviously we will scale much faster than 10,000 transactions per second. Smart contract service as well. So Hedera is fully EVM compatible. You can deploy smart contracts using Hardhat, Foundry. You can verify them programmatically as well as manually through Hashscan as well, which I'll show you all about that. And in today's workshop, we're going to show creating a token. We're going to show creating a topic, submitting messages to that topic, and then getting the topic messages to see what has been submitted to a particular topic. So for those of you that don't have a Hedera developer account, if you could scan the QR code here on the screen, that will take you to the Hedera developer portal, where you can create an account with an email and password, and that will give you access to your developer credentials, your account ID, and your private key that you can then use to begin interacting with testnet. So once you've signed up, you'll have the portal here, which is the dashboard. So you'll be given two accounts straight away. You'll be given an ECDSA account and an ED25519 account. A little bit of background behind these two keys. I'd recommend using an ECDSA account. They're a little bit more flexible, more EVM compatible. You can see here the EVM address is in the format you would expect. It's fully EVM compatible. So if you're deploying smart contracts to the network, if you're calling smart contracts, then an ECDSA account is the one to use. You can also create more than your two accounts as well. You can create multiple ECDSA accounts. I believe you can have up to an extra 3 accounts, to a total of 5 accounts on testnet. So you can see as well our balance here. See, my balance is a little bit low. I've been doing some playing around in my own time. And for this workshop, we might need a little bit more HBAR. So when your account's running low, how do you refill your account? How do you get more HBAR? So every 24 hours, you're given a refill button here that you can refill. And this is the same for all of your accounts. You can refill every single one, top it back up to 1,000, sorry. You can see here, we're back up to 1,000 HBAR, and we've given the 24-hour timer as well. So there's one other way you can get some more HBAR as well. You have the faucet here. You don't need to be logged in to use the faucet. It's available there, and it will give you an extra 100 HBAR to your account here. You can see that's gone through, and our account has topped up, and you can see our balance up here is 1,100 HBAR. So let's go on and let's build something here. I can see here what would be the differences between ECDSA and ED25519 accounts. So the main differences between the two key types there is an ECDSA account, or SEP 256K1 key. ECDSA is best for Ethereum compatibility. So Ethereum wallets use ECDSA. So if you want EVM compatibility, that's the one to go for. And then ED25519 is sort of the Hedera native key type. So let's get building. Let's build something on the playground. So you can see here, when you come to the playground, you've got a chat assistant here, and this is AI using ChatGPT 5.1. Now you can, in fact, connect your own keys. You can see here, if you want to connect your own API key and choose models, you can add it here. I'm not going to do that on the live stream, so I don't want to leak my private API key. But if you want to use different models, you can, and you can connect it. You can also choose different SDKs. If you're a JavaScript developer, that's the default SDK available here. You also have Java, and then you also have Rust as well. So if we're going to use the JavaScript SDK today, and you can see as well, it's pulled through our account ID up here and our private key. So it's already set up the client. You can see here it's for testnet as well. If we wanted to change the account we're using, we can just click through here. So if you're using one account and you're running out of HBAR, you can swap to another account, pick it up automatically, super quickly. So let's go and create an account. So it's really intuitive, the developer playground. It has all these code snippets that you can use. They just plug and play. So you can see, as I said before, the client is set up for you. So this is the connection to testnet. It's set the operator as our account ID and our private key as well. So we're ready to rumble. So let's create an account. So all we have to do is click create account. If for whatever reason you click on the wrong one, you didn't want that code added in and you have other code in there and you don't want to lose it, you can just hit undo last and it'll remove what you've just added. But we want to create an account, so let's do that. So you can see here, we're creating a new private key. We're grabbing the public key, and then we're going to create the account. So let's see what that looks like in sort of real terms. So if we hit execute, you can see here in the console output that we've created an account. Success, transaction ID, Hashscan URL, which is super handy that it gives us this because we can just click to it and go to it straight away. So if we click on that, this takes you to Hashscan. So Hashscan is a mirror node explorer. I'm going to turn on dark mode because that's a bit too bright for me. It's a mirror node explorer. So all of the transactions on Hedera you can view in an easy to view GUI on here, and you can see it's taken us directly to that transaction. We can see the account ID that has been created, and we also set a balance of 10 HBAR. So we created an account, funded it with 10 HBAR. Super easy. And you can see here it's got an ECDSA key. And under the operations, yeah, the playground is incredible. Maxim as well. It's I use it a lot. Everyone I know building on Hedera uses it. It's really handy just to trial different things. So you can see here that was the transaction, which is the create account. So this account is now on testnet, which is awesome. So what if we wanted to follow up and do something else? If we wanted to fund a new account that we've just created. So if we don't want to have to create a new account and fund it with more HBAR or add more, we can get rid of this here. And we have our code block. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer some HBAR to the account that we've just created. So transfer HBAR. Again, creates everything for us. You can see here we've got an error, and this is what I love about the playground as well. Is the playground, if there's code errors, it will tell you. So it says we can't find the name receiver account, so we haven't set that variable anywhere, which is super easy to do. We can just replace that. You know, if we go in to find our newly created account here, all we need to do is drop it in like that, and you can see we're going to be transferring from our account. We're going to transfer 1 HBAR, and then we're going to transfer it to the account that we've just created. So now all we need to do is hit execute. Easy, success. And what I love about this as well on the portal is it saves your output, so it doesn't overwrite them. So if you've had an error and you're doing lots of different testing and you want to go back and see what previous runs did, what worked, what didn't work, you can then save them here, and you can remove them as well if you want to. But as you can see on here, we've got our new account, and we have our private key here as well. So we can actually bring that into our script up here and start using the new account that we've created. I can see we've got a question here from Mex273. Yes, so this playground is actually executing the transactions on testnet. These are real transactions visible on Hashscan. So you can see here where we've just sent the account we've just created 1Hbar. You can see that lines up 3:16 p.m. And that is now, and you can see where we've just created it as well. And then that'll be reflected in the account here as 11Hbar. Cool. So let's go on and build something else. These are templates available to everyone. Yeah, there are templates available to everyone. So you can make your own template, which is really cool. So, and you can share these code snippets with other people. So, for example, let's say I wanted to share this code snippet of me transferring 1Hbar, and I wanted to send it to someone. I could then click on share here. You can see it will make it accessible to anyone, but that doesn't matter too much because all it's going to do is share the code that we've generated. You know, there's nothing sensitive in there at the minute. So if we just call this send Hbar, you can also disable that warning. So once you've seen it once, you sort of know what they're warning you about, and you can get rid of the warning. If we hit share code, you see the code's being uploaded. And what's really cool about this is I believe a HCS topic is created, which I'll show you through after this, and submits the code there and creates this link for us here. So if we copy this or go to the link, you can see up here, session, and it's copied everything across. So if you wanted to share this code, what I have seen some people do, which is really helpful, is we have the Hedera Discord. I'll show you a QR code at the end of the workshop as well. I'll bring up some resources for you. The Hedera Discord is a great place to go for support. If you're stuck on anything, I believe there is a link to it as well on the Hackathon website. And that's where you'll go for support, looking for teams, for example. And if you're getting stuck on something, a code snippet isn't working, you're getting an error, you can't figure it out, and you need a little bit of support, you can go onto the Discord, create a thread on there and ask for help, and share the code snippet that isn't working with us, and we can bring that up in the playground, see what's wrong, maybe adjust something, and reshare it with you, a working version. So it's really great for collaboration. And Mex, I can see your follow-up there as well about seeing -1Hbar and +1Hbar. Why not just one input? So I can show you that here. Yeah, so effectively what we're doing is we're showing here that we're transferring from this account to this account. And the reason for that is, you know, we might have an allowance, this account might have an allowance to send Hbar or another token from another account on the network, and we might want to put that in there. So you can use, it doesn't have to be from your account. If you have an allowance to send from one account to another, you can utilize that. So what we're saying here is we want to transfer 1Hbar from our account, and we want to transfer that to the new account here. And I can see another question here. Is there any way to set permissions for sharing, like sending a view only, like, or granting editor permissions to certain people? So when you share that view, that won't mean that they can edit it, and then if you click on that link again, the changes are there. That will be the same every time you go to that URL. So if someone wanted to edit it and send it back to you, they would then need to reshare the so they would make their changes. So, you know, if they added like a console.log to say, hello, that wouldn't change for your shared link. If they went back to it, for example, so you can see we changed that. If we went back to it, you can see there's no console.log saying hello. However, if they wanted to send that back to you, they could then reshare it, regenerate, send hbar v2 share code. And then this would create a new topic with a new code snippet, and they could then send that back to you with the changes. So it's really handy. So you won't lose anything by sharing it with anyone. But they can use that to then build on what you've shared with them. So it's really powerful in that way. Cool. So let's start from scratch. Let's clear everything out. That trash button up here will clear everything out and take us back to the default, where we're just creating the client and setting the operator. So let's create a topic. All we need to do is create a topic. We hit on there. You can see here that we're creating a topic, new topic create transaction. We're using the client that was set up for us by the portal. And then we're going to console log all of the details to us with a super handy, easy to click link that takes us to Hashscan so we can view that topic. So if we hit execute, hopefully this works, which I'm sure it will. There we go. You can see that we've created a topic. This is our topic ID. So let's have a look. This is the transaction. So this will show us how much we've spent. You know, to create a topic, that's only cost us a cent here, which is, you know, next to nothing, negligible amounts, or 0.1 HBAR. And the amount might change because the fees aren't set in HBAR. The fees are set in dollars. So that will always cost that 1 cent to create a topic. It doesn't matter if the price of HBAR fluctuates. You know exactly how much you're going to be paying. So let's have a look at the topic. So this is what the topic looks like on Hashscan. You can see the messages, no messages yet. What we're going to do, however, is we're going to send a message to the topic. So if we undo that, and let's submit a message to a topic. Cool. So we need the topic ID. You can see it's got an error here. If we just try to run that without updating the topic ID, you can see here we get an error straight away telling us topic ID is not defined. And if you have a scan through, you can see here, hopefully it shows on the screen, I might be in the way, but there is a red dot showing on my scroller here, similar to VS Code, showing something isn't right around here. And that tells us there's no topic ID. So we can update the topic ID. And again, we've created new output, and we haven't lost our previous output. So we haven't lost our topic ID. It's still here. It's hiding in the previous output. So if we take this, we fill in the topic ID as a string, we're going to send a message saying hello HCS. So hello Hedera consensus service. And we execute. See output 5 jumps us straight there. Topic message, hello HCS. So if we go to the topic now and go into our messages, you can see here, this is the message we've just submitted, which is really cool and incredibly powerful. I mean, you can submit 10,000 messages a second. So if you had a really strong use case that you needed to send lots of messages to, HCS is the way forward. And it's incredibly cheap to do so, and incredibly fast as well. You know, it's fair ordering as well. So if you have lots of different, for example, you had an IoT project and you had lots of different things all submitting messages to a topic, it doesn't matter the time at which they send them in, because they will always be in order. They're all completely fair ordered. You know, you won't have, there's no front running. You know, someone can't send a transaction, use more, you know, provide a higher fee and sneak in front of someone else. That doesn't happen. It's all completely fair ordered, which is great, and incredibly if you're using this as an immutable audit trail, for example, you need the fair ordering. Otherwise, you'll have things showing where products have been delivered when they haven't even been shipped, and it won't be correct. So by having the fair ordering, it's a huge benefit here. So I can see as well, you're asking there about which other programming languages are supported. You can use Python, yeah. So we have a whole host of SDKs. I don't know if Python isn't supported by the portal. However, there is a Python SDK that you can download and use. Really, really easy to use. So what would be the next step? So we've created an account, we've sent some HBAR, we created a topic, we've written a message to the topic. What else can it be used for? Well, I'd imagine if some of you are coming from an EVM background, you might want to create a contract as well. I can see a message there from WebXLB. Can you read a message and pull it back through as a variable further on? What is just the sequence number? You can, yeah. You can query the HCS instance and get the topic messages. So you can see here, if we wanted the topic messages, let's do that. So we need our topic ID, of course, which is this one here. And I may have clicked onto the wrong one. Let's close some of these ones down. Yes. Cool. This one here, I think, is a topic. Yeah. So if we clear this down, and we're going to get topic messages here. So you can see we're going to fill in our topic ID here. We're going to limit it to 10. So we only want the 10 most recent, because it's in descending as well, 10 most recent messages. Now, this uses the REST API. It doesn't use the SDK. It uses the REST API, which is a public endpoint you can reach. I believe it is rate limited at about 50 requests per second. So that should be enough to get all of the information you need. If you've got a large topic, you can pull 1,000. There are other tools out there as well. There are private mirror node providers where you can pay if you need a higher throughput. There's also some really cool projects out there. For example, Hashgraph, they have a GraphQL instance where you can effectively run queries and pull back massive amounts of data. I use that one all the time. It's incredibly great. But let's pull back the messages here so we can execute this. And you can see here it's pulled back and effectively given us the details, topic messages here. So you can see the pair account, running hash sequence number. So that's the first message in the sequence there. So let's bear with me. I think I can see another message there. Can we set up a recurring payments? Let's say I want 1 HBAR going to my account every day, for example. You can. Yeah, that wouldn't be difficult at all. I've done that for my Hedera staking collection. I have an AWS Lambda running somewhere, which just executes every day, just runs the JavaScript escalator, just send, I think it's 0.0001 HBAR just to trigger the staking rewards collection. Super easy to do. You can also do scheduled transactions as well. Super easy to do, and they're all on here. All of the default queries are on here. So let's build a contract. So you've got ERC20. That's if you want to create a token in a similar way to Ethereum. So if you're an Ethereum developer and you wanted to create a token, you could do so in here. ERC71 NFTs as well. If you wanted to create an NFT, it's super easy to do as well. You have all of these click, features that you can just add in. If you want to make it mintable, auto incrementing IDs, burnable, pausable, having votes, timestamping, if you want it. So access control is editable. You can add in anything and everything you want to do. You also got ERC 1155, which is effectively a single smart contract that can manage both fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens. And then you also have Hedera token service as well. So if you wanted to, Hedera has system contracts that you can call upon. So we have the Hedera token service, which is a system contract, which you can call upon as well. And you also have these other options here: better getter setter, or basic getter setter, sorry, and simple storage. So let's use simple storage. So you can see here, and something slightly different about the contract builder compared to the playground is you can't edit anything on here. It's a read-only editor, right? And the reason for that is that's what allows us to choose all of these settings on here to fill them in. And then it will also allow us to run and call those contracts because it's a default contract that we've seen. If you wanted to edit the contract, you can enable advanced mode up here. So if you had a contract you wanted to deploy to testnet, you didn't want to have to mess around with Hardhat and deploying it via Hardhat or Foundry. You wanted to just deploy it onto testnet, see how it works, you'd be able to do that by enabling advanced mode. You can see here, we'll lose the form control. So you'll see on the left-hand side, they will all disappear. So if I click accept that, they're all gone. So now we can edit it, we can delete all of this, and we can paste in our own smart contract, and we can compile and deploy it if we want to. But for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to show you the basic getter setter smart contract. So we hit compile. That's now ready to go. You can see here as well, verify on Hashscan. So that's where we can verify the smart contract automatically as well, just by clicking that box there. But I won't do that to begin with. I will deploy it, show you what it looks like on Hashscan, and then we can verify it afterwards. So if we hit deploy, it'll take a couple of seconds here. And it should give us a nice output at the bottom, or on the side here, sorry. You see the contract ID. So all I need to do is click on that. And again, it takes you straight to Hashscan. You can see this is a contract. Now, because it's not verified, we have a verify button over here, so we can verify by manually uploading the contract files. We also have the ABI and the source, which, as you can see, they're not visible because the contract's not verified. We need to verify the contract before they become visible. You can see the bytecode, events, calls as well, how many people have called the contract, whether they're successful, whether they're reverted. So now we want to verify this contract. How do we do that? You can see here, it's showing that it's not verified. We've got a nice red X here. All we have to do is click on that, and that's going to go green. And on here, if we then refresh, verified. It pulls everything through. We've now got the name for it. Verification status is a full match. We've now got the ABI, and we've got the source, and we've got the bytecode. So if you're deploying a smart contract for the hackathon purposes, make sure it's deployed. And now we can call these contracts. Can we interact, read HTS from deployed Solidity contracts? You can, yeah, you can. So let's make a call here. So what have we got? Get number. So if we get number, I think it's going to return 0, because you can see here in the constructor, it starts with 0. So if we click call, we'll get an output, success, result 0. We go back onto here on the Mirror Node Explorer, you'll see the call that we just made. And you'll see how much that cost as well. So that cost us 0.02 HBAR, this one here. And you can see that in dollars, so in real terms, how much that actually cost you, which is 0.00199 or 0.002, which is a tiny amount of money. It's, you know, the 20th of a penny. So you can call that 5 times before it costs you 1 penny. Now, if we wanted to set the number, we can come in here. And this is really great for, you know, just testing out. If you're new to smart contracts, you want to play around with them, Contract Builder is a great place to start. You can also download them as well if you wanted to go one step further. You know, you've deployed the contract, you've verified them all through the Contract Builder here, and you want to take that a step further and learn how to do that in Hardhat or Foundry. You can download them, compile them, deploy them, verify them yourself. So we're going to enter a new value. We're going to put 10, and we're going to call. So now this is calling the set number and saying set the number to 10. So you can see here success. And if we go back to the recent contract calls on here, you can see as well, we've called, it's all success, results, happy days, input, new value 10. So you can see we set it to 10. You can see the gas limit, gas used, gas consumed. You know, really handy to help debug. You can trace if you got, you know, some more in-depth smart contracts, you might have multiple calls within those smart contracts. You might have smart contracts calling other smart contracts, and then you have the call trace here, and you can sort of follow it through, and it will show you where it's reverted or what's gone wrong. You know, it's quite in depth. So you can see we've now set that. So if we wanted to get the number again, we'll call get number, and hopefully if all goes well. Yeah, there we go. Contract result is 10. So how would you buy HBAR? Is it the same as the coin? Yeah, so HBAR is the coin. This is on testnet, you see, so you don't need to buy any HBAR. This is you know, free to create. All you need is an email address, password, and to prove you're human, and then you'll have a dashboard created here. So you can see we topped that up at the start of this workshop. We topped it up to, I think it was 1,100 HBAR. We've spent just shy of 17 HBAR, and I need to wait 23.5 hours to fill that back up, to refill it to another 1,000 HBAR. And then obviously you've got the faucet as well, so you can top that up. So that's free to use. Testnet is free to use. You don't need to pay for any HBAR, buy any HBAR. It's just there ready for you to use. And then if you were to go on to mainnet and start using mainnet, you can use testnet as sort of your staging environment to see how much things are going to cost in real terms. And then you'd be able to buy HBAR in order to fund those transactions on mainnet. But the portal and developer playground is all testnet. You do have PreviewNet, which will have some new features on, but testnet is sort of the most reliable. Cool. So what should we do next? So I've shown you the portal. I'm going to show you very quickly how you'd graduate from the portal, right? Like say you've built something in the portal, you test it, you know it works. You want to run that on your own instance. You've got VS Code installed, you've got you're ready to go. You've got Node installed, you've got VS Code installed, and you wanted to get started. So we build this out as let's create a token this time. And we're going to call this Hedera 101. And the symbol is going to be H. Now, we're not going to execute this. We're not going to run this. We're not going to run this on the portal. We're going to run this on our own local instance. So I should have VS Code running somewhere. There we are. So you see Hedera 101. Totally clean install. Super simple. All you need to do, npm init, and just go through these as well. Cool. So we've initialized a new repo. Now, all you need to do is install the Hiero SDK, or JavaScript SDK, which is just npm install -- save at Hiero ledger /SDK. That might take a minute or two. So while that's installing, what I'm going to do is we're going to go and copy this code. You can download it as well. If you wanted to download, you can see there, Hedera playground.js. I could then drag and drop that into my environment and then run it. But all I need to do here is copy, head back to VS Code, and we're going to create a new file. We'll call it index.js, just for this exercise. Paste in our code. Don't forget to save the file as well. You can see here we've installed the Hiero Ledger SDK. We've created the file. We've copied the code from the playground, and you can see here we've got our account ID and private key. Now, if this were a real project, highly recommend never putting your private keys in files like this, but just for the sake of the exercise, I will do it just to show you how easy it is. Normally you create a .m file, you use that to store your private keys, account IDs, probably even the environment that you're running it in, testnet, but just for the sake of the exercise. Then we'd run. So you know we haven't set this to execute in the portal, and we're going to show you that as well, so we can see what that looks like. So Hedera portal, we're going to go to our account ID, operations. So you can see here, latest transaction was a few minutes ago, 6 minutes ago, and that was for a crypto transfer, contract call, etc. So now if we head back to the code and we execute this, you can see we've now created our token in VS Code outside of the portal, and all we needed to do was npm init, npm install the SDK, paste in the code, run it, done. Super simple. And you can see here token create again just now, and we can go have a look at that token ID. You can see it's got our nice little H symbol there, Hedera 101 symbol. We didn't set a memo, we didn't set any metadata, we didn't set any freeze defaults. You can, there's quite a lot of options you can do. So I'd recommend getting over to the docs and having a look at the docs, work with the developer portal, work with the docs site, see what you can build, use the developer playground, you know, as much as you can. It's a great place to get started on Hedera. You can't go wrong with it. And yeah, so you can see we've created our token, and you can see that's given us the output there. And you can see we can change these settings. You know, if we wanted our initial supply to be 10,000 or 100,000, super easy to do. You know, the SDK comes with everything you'd need. You know, if you wanted to set a pause key or freeze key, a token type, for example, super easy to do. And so hopefully, after me running through everything there, you've got a little bit better understanding of HTS, HCS, how to deploy and verify a smart contract using the portal and contract builder, how to get your environment started locally and start executing transactions on testnet. Hopefully now you know how to create, refill your testnet account as well when you're running low on HBAR. And then I'll put some resources up on the screen here for you. So you've got the Hedera portal. That's what we were using just there to create your account, get started on testnet. You've got the Hedera docs there as well, which are really great. Hedera Discord, that's a must-have. You must join the Hedera Discord. I find it invaluable. I still go on there sometimes and I'll ask for help. And, you know, the community members help me, which is great. You know, it's really, really good. So if you're looking to build a team for this hackathon, get in there, get asking for help, start looking for other people. And then there's the Join Hackathon QR code there as well. So you can sign up to the hackathon. And let's see if we have any questions? Say we've created a topic on testnet. Is there a way to move the data over and switch into mainnet? If you mean directly copying a topic, all of its messages, keeping the time stamping and moving that over mainnet, no. But the same way you would create that topic and create those messages that are being created, or sorry, submitted to that topic, you can do that on mainnet. So all you would need to do is, once you have your mainnet details and you have your .m file and you want to submit it to mainnet, you would update with your account ID. You'd update with your mainnet private key. Again, must be in a .m file. Definitely do not put it directly in the index.js file or any of your other files. Best way to do a .m file. Otherwise, you risk leaking your mainnet account IDs and private keys, which will give someone access to your account. So all you would need to do, as mentioned, is change for testnet to for mainnet, and then you'd be submitting directly onto mainnet. That's the only change you need. And what you can do as well is there is, I believe, an option you can do for name as well, which will then, you can put the network in here as well. So you could then have that in your .env as well. So then all you need to do to swap from testnet to mainnet is go into your .m file and change the environment from testnet to mainnet, and you deployed on mainnet and you're ready to go. So then all of those messages for your topic can start submitting over to mainnet. Cool. And I think that brings us to the end of the workshop. So hopefully you've learned a little bit. Oh, Sherlyn, you're on mute.
Oh, I'm still on mute. I'm sorry. Thanks for that, Luke. Okay, thank you, Luke, for the very wonderful sharing. And as I can see, this is one of the most active chats ever when I was in a workshop from Hedera. So I guess people like what you're sharing and they're very interested to join the hackathon. So what are you waiting for? Please scan the QR code right now and join the hackathon. Okay, yeah. So if you want to learn more about Hedera, yeah, once again, you can join the hackathon. And of course, as Luke mentioned and what he shared a while ago, please join the Discord account of Hedera, and then you'll be able to connect with him directly and connect with everyone else who are expert in Hedera. Okay, so maybe after this session, you might still want to ask questions. You don't want to let go of Luke, but yes, one tip is for, as I mentioned, join Hedera Discord and get help from Hedera experts. And if you have any question that will come later, I will share this form once again on chat. And you can put it here. For example, you're still digesting and then you still want to ask later, then yes, please put it on the form. I will send it to Luke and Luke will answer it. All right, so catch Luke as our mentor in the Apex Hackathon and get the chance to chat with him directly. So don't miss that chance and tune in on Discord for all the latest hackathon announcements. Luke, would you want to say any closing remarks to our participants?
Just get in the Discord, get asking questions. You know, I'm active in there all the time. Feel free to tag me. My name on Discord is Luke, so you'll be able to find me on there. And I'm happy to help and mentor and see what you guys build.
Great. What a wonderful promise from Luke, right? Let's take that, guys. Join Discord and have him already. Okay, so before I let go of you guys, I wanted to invite you to please subscribe to Hedera's YouTube account to get the most updated workshops, not just for this hackathon, but there are a lot more to be covered to ace being a developer on Hedera. And also an important reminder, we will be officially opening the Hedera Hello Future Hackathon on February 17, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So please join us live. Now, I will leave this link to you, and I believe that we are also sharing this on the screen. If you want to join us on February 17, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, please join live. There are a lot of things that we'll be tackling, and then we'll be hearing from Ed and Jake of Hedera. And yes, all right, I think that is it for this session, and I'd like to thank everyone. Luke, thank you so much for being here with us and spending time to teach everyone. And for everyone who's also learning, thank you for spending time with us. And yes, we're communicating so healthy in this thread. I'm so happy to see this. And yup, looking forward to see you once again next week live. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Thanks very much, everyone. Bye. Jack, thank you.